Hello everybody and welcome back to another community game. This is going to be sudden death if the game actually gets started here, which it looks like it will after a bit of lag. So we're going to have a 7-way free-for-all. This is a 3-player map size on Steppe, very common map. We have done this, actually we have done these settings before. It was a very long time ago, however. So let's introduce our players. They're in Castle Age, start with high resources, of course. The player's confused by the settings. But yeah, this is going to be Infiltration Unit playing as the Persians. He is 1600 rated. In fact, all of these players are 1600 rated except for Wiki. Wiki's 2K rated. He is playing as the Huns. He's the only player not to choose a civilization. We have Popo Pups playing as Portuguese. We have Rodheim playing as the Goths. Where's Rodheim? Oh, here's his town center. We have Jarl of Red playing as the Persians. Rabbit Tortoise playing as the Berbers, and Pocahontas playing as the Franks. Again, every player 1600 level, chosen civ except for Wiki. And we'll see where the aggression comes out. Some of these players don't realize this is high resources. As you can see, Infiltration Unit has not realized that. Hasn't built anything here. We have Wiki. He is starting out with a castle, defensive castle. You have enough stone for a defensive castle. Defensive castle from Popo Pups. Not much coming out of Rodheim. One interesting thing about this map is you can place your town center wherever you like, but you only get one of them. So it's a very interesting dynamic. All of them placing them in... most of them placing on the wood line. We have the Pocahontas placing it kind of more into the gold, a little closer to the middle of the map. I would just place it in the, the back right, back left, or any corner I could possibly get it in. Because since this is sudden death, if you lose your town center, you do lose the game. So you have to be very careful with that. And of course, one of the quirks of Steppe, you get this little, you get this horse, which is essentially blind. So I'm going to try my best not to miss any P-Tard snipes. The last sudden death game we played, I missed like three P-Tard snipes. And some of these players are a little more experienced. Okay, finally, Infiltration Unit's going to spend its resources. He's going to get stone walls up. We have stone walls from Wiki. Wiki is playing as the Huns, so Tarkin's a very, very strong unit for sudden death. Able to take down town centers in an instant. But the Portuguese Organ guns are very strong. I don't consider them a particularly strong sudden death civ, though. A monk rush could definitely be very strong, as long as they don't go straight into a castle. The Goths need a bit of economy to get themselves going, but once they get themselves going, they stay in the game for a little bit. I imagine champions and Huskarls can be very strong. They have an attack bonus versus buildings. We have the Berbers. Their discount on knights will be very nice. I think that's got to be a very strong civilization, actually, because they might not feel the effect of their lackluster Imperial age so much in these settings. We have the Persians. Their faster town center will be very nice. Not sure which of these civs I would prefer. And then the Franks. Cheaper castles for them. Their knights should be just about average in the Castle Age, but in the Imperial Age they'll have a little extra HP. Nothing too special for the Franks, though. And then the Persians. We already talked about the Persians. P-Tard's coming out from Infiltration Unit. Looks like he might go for a Pocahontas first. Pocahontas has a castle onto his town center, so that should help him defend, but shouldn't be sufficient. This is giving away Infiltration Unit's hand. You gotta have at least 5 P-Tards to take down a town center, not 2. So neither of those guys are gonna make it. And now Pocahontas should be alerted. Oh, gonna kill the horse too. Oh yeah, Persians have more HP on their town centers too. That's very important. Looks like Wiki is in fact making Tarkans, and he's going to double wall also. So he's going to play defensive and move out his Tarkans when it's the right time. Otherwise, no players really going too aggressive. We have a few Huskarls from Rodheim. This is going to do a lot of damage to Popo Pumps. This could potentially take him out of the game if Popo Pumps doesn't have a counter to these Huskarls. And what kind of counter should he do? Perhaps monks or knights would be the best counter. Good to hear discerned. Here comes 2 more P-Tards. It takes exactly 5 to take down a town center. Looks like Infiltration Unit thinks it might take 2. You have villagers coming forward for Jarl of Red. He's going to mine a bit of stone, perhaps for some defenses or another castle. We'll have to see. These Huskarls look to be doing a lot of damage. Is there any response from Pumps? Doesn't look like there is at the moment. He's mining a bit of stone, though. Let's take a look at his point of view. He's still got plenty of resources to work with. He's got a lot of petards. I think he's going to just try to go for the snipe, and then the Huskarls won't have anyone to command them. He wants to go for the snipe. He's going to have to run straight through here. He's going to have to deal with the castle, though, so he's going to need a lot of petards. Now the Spearman Rush from Infiltration Unit. What are these guys going to accomplish? Not sure. Perhaps idle some of this wood line. We'll have to see. But only petards from Pumps. We're going to see a big push from him pretty soon. Meanwhile, Wiki's still just biding his time. Let's check how many Tarkans he has. He's got quite a few. That can definitely take down a town center. Infiltration also might be going for the petards. And these spearmen will get into the woodline. They shouldn't be too much of a threat, though. Get a little bit of armor and attack on them. Here we go. Pocahontas is going to move out with his petards. I'm just going to check over here. No, petards have not moved out yet. So let's see if these guys can do anything. They're going to run right into the camels. That's pretty unlucky. And he's going to lose all of those petards. So what a big waste for Pocahontas. Perhaps would have been a little better advised to be a little more sneaky, move around the bottom side. Outpost coming up from Wiki, also a smart move. They really don't cost you too much and be able to help better prepare you. There we go. Real sign of aggression from Infiltration Unit. Is he going to run into the castle, though? Oh, he's going to be right outside the line of sight. Right outside the range. So this could be a potentially strong rush. Already, town center getting punished from Pocahontas. Getting battered down. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like enough defense. Oh, the Miss Micro is real. I'm going to take a few units with that, but we need to see a better defense of the mangonels. If Infiltration wants to take down Pocahontas. We're even seeing rams from Pumps. So rams and petards. But here comes the Tarkans of Wiki. There's no defense here. There's only a castle here. Maybe the petards can do something against these Tarkans. Taking down a little bit of HP. Almost gonna take down a petard though. Almost gonna take down a Tarkan. But here we go. I think this is gonna be the first TC snipe of the game. Pumps. Tons of Tarkans on top of his town center. No defense for him. We need to see the repairs come in immediately. Please target your petards before you die. If you're gonna die. The petards are moving back. And looks like the town center's gonna go down. Pumps calling the GG. So down he goes. And a little bit of a shame. Jarl of Red going for a fast Imperial age. Where's Jarl of Red? Here he is. If he cuts through here, can get a trebuchet right in this area and start to work on the town center. But this is very dicey. Look at how close these guys are. I mean, even the trebuchet can attack the castle of Rabbit Tortoise. Look how these guys got in here. So now we're down to 6. Wiki taking the first kill of the game. Looks like he's going to have his sights set on Infiltration Unit next. However, he's going to have to get through some stone wall unless there's an overchop here. And second castle coming from Pocahontas, so that's going to help lock down that area. Oh, and this is going to be an expensive loss if he loses these 2 mangonels to the castle. Oh, he's going to go for the villagers, and at the very least going to take 2 villagers. Not too bad. Jarl of Red going for the War Elephant strategy. Is a trebuchet on the way for Jarl of Red? He has 1 trebuchet already out. Oh, poor Rodham. He only gets palisade walls. So yeah, he's going to want to play mostly aggressive this game. defensive might not be his playstyle. The Jarl Red, the only player up into the Imperial Age now. Rabbit Tortoise, certainly, look at his economy. It's very nice. Has a lot of farms up. Looks like he might be making petards. Let's check. Got the top score right now. Yeah, making a few petards. Only 5, though. If you look at Pocahontas' base, he's got 2 castles mostly to the north. To the south, it's a little more exposed. And in fact, look at Rabbit Tortoise. He's also towering. Towering his opponent. So his opponent's going to have to go north here, more towards infiltration unit. Looks like Wiki's gearing out for another TC snipe. Wiki has a very nice economy as well, but he's stuck in the Castle Age. He's investing a lot into these Tarkans. Now, unfortunately, the Jarl Red really isn't putting the pressure onto Rabbit Tortoise, perhaps because he's distracted by Rodhem, who's kept this wall open. Let's check Jarl Red's resources. So Jarl Red getting pretty low with resources. We could check Rodhem as well. Again, pretty low, but Rodhem can click up to the next age relatively soon, if he saves up just a little bit. Otherwise, most players playing defensively. I think they'll be playing defensively until they get to the Imperial Age. Obviously, in the Imperial Age, you get things like Trebuchet, Stronger Siege, which can bode more towards more aggression. And Wiki, very smart. He's even doing like 3 layers of wall, as you can see. I really like the strategy. And you can tell Rodhem's getting pretty serious. He's coming here with a ram also. The big thing is he's going to have to get through this castle. As you can see on the bottom, Jarl Red taking down this stone wall. He's going to have to get through one of these trees. But there's really nothing to back this up. It looks like Rabbit Tortoise will have enough to defend from these trebuchets for now. Looking really bad for Jarl Red. He's now second lowest in score. Here comes the 2 rams. It's only 2 rams though. It's not too formidable. And we have Rabbit Tortoise coming from the other side. Jarl Red really feels sandwiched. Gonna take down the monks first. Let's see if he can get to those rams. They're doing significant damage to the castle. And it looks like this War Elephant will be enough to keep Jarl Red in the game for now. On the north, tensions are building between Pocahontas and Infiltration Unit. Let's check their resources. Infiltration Unit far from the next age. Pocahontas getting close, getting there. And still, and really no tensions on this left side. It's like these guys have agreed to a truce. They're really wide open though. Or at least Pocahontas is really wide open. Oh, here we go. We're going to have an all-out war between Infiltration Unit and Wiki. Wiki's got the better army composition. Knights are pretty decent against Tarkans, though, but we have the monks in the back for Wiki. Gonna get a few conversions off on these knights. And let's see if Infiltration Unit has enough to defend. He's pulled back all of his army. This is allowing Pocahontas to place an aggressive castle onto his woodline. More spearmen coming in. Why does an Infiltration Unit upgrade to pikemen? That would be a lot more effective. And it looks like the flood from Wiki is just going to be too much. However, is it going to be enough to put the nail in the coffin for Infiltration Unit? Looks like not for now. We're going to have to see a little bit more. Again, perhaps trebuchets in the later game. We're even seeing cavalry archers. That's such a strong army composition from Wiki. Meanwhile, the pressure from Rodhem really hasn't gone anywhere. Not able to take down the castle. All 3 trebuchets are going down. Oh my god! Rabbit Tortoise into the Imperial Age. He's coming with petards too. He doesn't even need petards. All he needs is the trebuchet. And Rodhem advanced in the Imperial Age. So we have 3 players now into the Imperial Age. Sorry, 4 players. I missed that. Wiki's also in the Imperial Age. So the action should get started Should get a little more heated up now. Now that the players can afford these siege units. And there we go. Rabbit Tortoise already set up. Should target down the town center. The only way that Jarl of Red can defend this is with trebuchets of his own. And luckily he is in an Imperial Age. It's a good thing he's got a Persian town center. Oh, I didn't even see this coming. Rabbit Tortoise is actually going to cut through, so his P-Tards get in. A little less efficient, but that should work out nonetheless. And here he goes. Here comes the P-Tards. Are we going to see any quick walls coming up? Any quick garrison? Anything like that? Nope, looks like it's going to be the end for Jarl of Red. Thank you for playing Jarl of Red. Going to be out. How many P-Tards does it take to take down a Persian town center? Looks like a lot. But that's going to be it. And now Rodhem and Rabbit Tortoise can fight over the remains of Jarl of Red's base. In the north, Infiltration Unit having a really hard time. Still has an upgraded pikeman. Not sure. Not sure why. You got the resign off. Yeah, good sportsmanship, Jarl of Red. On the bottom, looks like Pocahontas is now going to refocus onto Rabbit Tortoise, and Rabbit Tortoise can do that also because Jarl of Red has now been taken out. So we're gonna have these two battle it out. We have the two on the top battling it out. Question is, what does Rodhem do? Does he just sit back for now? Try to get his economy rolling? Or is he going to try to snipe off another player? This looks to be a strong push. These are not capped rams, though. These are just regular old battering rams. And they won't last too long. We have two castles right next to each other. So this could be an expensive loss for Pocahontas. He's going to retreat under the monks, under the castle. I think Bombard Cannon might be a good addition to this army. We'll see what upgrades come in. First, we're going to get Conscription. Nothing from the Blacksmith. I think Chemistry would be a great upgrade right now. And Pocahontas definitely has the military production buildings if he wants to make use out of them. Over in the top, not much going on. Trebuchets coming out from Wiki. That'll expedite things a little bit. Looks like we have Rands also in these Siege Workshop. They're definitely not onagers, because the Huns don't get onagers. A little bit of an expedition coming out from Rodhem. He's going to explore the map a little bit, see what he's up against. You, of course, have the scores to help you determine who's a threat and who's not. Well, the scores can lie every now and then, though. And it's going to be a little bit of a failed attempt. He's just poking a little bit, seeing what kind of resistance he encounters. Castle coming in the back just to be safe. So 4 castles for Rabbit Tortoise. He's got a pretty solid defense, but only a single layer from each side. Ooh, what an expensive loss. Axeman's going to come in, clean up the house. We have 2 trebuchets out. We don't really see the trebuchets from Rabbit Tortoise. Need to have something to push these castles down. And here we go. 2 trebuchets coming up. I don't believe they're within range. No, they're within range of the castle right now. And it looks like Infiltration Unit could be going down relatively shortly. Here we go, trebuchets from Rabbit Tortoise. Another castle coming up from Pocahontas. Looks like the 3 favorites in this game, I might say, are probably going to be Wiki, Rabbit Tortoise, maybe Pocahontas. I have a little bit of faith in him. And the wild card can just be Rodhem over here in the back right. But already, Town Center's getting fired upon. Those... Oh, it's a converted Tarkin. I was so confused for a second. Looks like that's going to be the end for Infiltration Unit, unless he can pull something out of the bag right now. Unless he's got like a million elephants in this one castle. I just don't see it. I'm just going to repair the Town Center for now. Hope for a miracle. And It's still very stalemating. I don't understand why these guys don't just set up their trebuchets. It would be deployed under the castle. I think players may be thinking about just upgrading their units fully. We have Elite Camel Archer done. Some pretty good upgrades on the skirms and camels as well. Elite Throwing Axemen just coming in. Units are almost fully upgraded at this stage. Trebuchets are now setting up. They're going to work on these barracks a little bit. And I don't know who's going to win this fight. Camel Archers versus Throwing Axemen. That's a fight I really haven't seen too often. The Camel Archers have a bit more range, so I think I'd favor them a little bit. HP is relatively similar, though. And I'm not exactly sure what the Camel Archer costs. But I have the feeling the Camel Archer might be a little bit better. Looks like Trebuchet might go down. Yeah, Infiltrate. I missed the TC snipe, of course. But we kind of knew Infiltration unit was going to have to give it up here. So first castle going down from Pocahontas. Castle's too far forward. Or it was too far forward. And this is a lot of pressure on Pocahontas. He's really relying on the strength of his Throwing Axemen. He'll really want to get that last armor upgrade. He wants to stand a chance against these Camel Archers. But it's not looking so good for Pocahontas. Wiki upgrading his army fully. He's got Elite Tarkin now, Heavy Cavalry Archer, very strong units. Look at the stats on these guys. And let's check Wiki's, what's in these siege workshops. They've been filled for a while. Just a few rams. No doubt he'll be saving up for siege ram pretty soon. A little bit of a pause right now. Here we go. Oh, poor monk. That's a terrible position to be standing. Broadhem, making quite a few helms. Going to take down this castle. Looks like Wiki wants to expand out to these golds and stones. Rodham is going to have to add something. He's going to have to add Huskarls to stand up to Wiki's army. And here's the big engagement we're looking forward to. No, we're not. They took their time. Four castles coming up from Wiki. Just trying to defend himself. And it looks like Pocahontas might have enough to defend here. It's getting pretty close though. Oh, nice shot with the trebuchet. Oh my god, and Rodham coming in from the right side. This is a 2v1 situation now. The Cavalier gonna get in right under the Cavalier as the army's distracted from Rabbit Tortoise. Rodham doesn't choose sides though. He's gonna take down some of these Throwing Axemen while he's at it also. So it truly is a free-for-all. All the trebuchets going down though. Just as the castle goes down for Pocahontas, no more defense here. Everyone must fear the might of Rodham. Might even switch into some hand cannons also. Rodham can use a better economy though. Not seeing too much economy from him. So just taking a look at the scores right now, looks like Rabbit Tortoise and Wiki clearly ahead of the scores, and the two lower ones are Rodham and Pocahontas. But not as great chance of them for this game. Looks like Wiki's gonna get really serious though. He's gonna deal with Rodham. Oh, crossbow's coming out from Rodham. Wasn't expecting that one. The Goths don't get arbalest. And these hand cannons should do fairly well. The arbalests are probably just to counter the hand cannons, although skirmisher would have worked just as well for that purpose. Look at the army of Wiki. It's just been massing this whole game. Hasn't been losing a lot of army either. Oh, this is odd how the Tarkans, the ones from the castle are different than the ones from the stable. Pocahontas actually going to redirect north? He's got such a threat on his doorstep, though. Let's see if the monk micro is real for Rodham. Gonna have to have the best micro in the world for this to work. And no. The army just getting devoured. The Huskarls, they can tank a little bit, though. We need to see more Huskarls out on the field. The Hound's gonna move in, they're just gonna get shredded immediately. And it's looking pretty dire for Rodham. We need to see a 2v1 against Wiki, I feel. Now, Pocahontas could definitely help out, however, we do have Rabbit Tortoise here who's still pushing in. So Wiki having a very strong chance at this game, I feel. His army looks absolutely uncontested at this point. Yeah, I love to see the Tarkans too. They're actually very, very strong in the situation. And extra Pierce Armor too in the expansions, they're very strong. So this army from Rodham's not going to stand up much longer. Do we have the trebuchets moving in? No, we have a few rams. Pocahontas just being a little bit annoying here. And I think Rabbit Tortoise, he's going to give the killing blow now. He's just going to move up his trebuchets just a little bit further. And there we go. I think this is going to be the end of Pocahontas. No repairs coming in. Castle's not going to do much good. And that's going to be the end of Pocahontas. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. And down he goes. So now we're down to a three-way. We have Rodham, Rabbit Tortoise, and Wiki. Rodham not looking so good. It's going to be up to Wiki. I think Wiki understands that... Rabbit Tortoise understands that his biggest threat is going to be Wiki this game. So hopefully he acts sooner rather than later. It'd be to his benefit to keep Rodham alive. To be honest. But Rodham's not going to be alive very much longer. It keeps going on like this. Well, let's see if Rabbit Tortoise has a little bit of urgency. Let's take a look at the economy of Wiki. Certainly hasn't neglected his army in any way. Sorry, his economy in any way. Although he's switching to pikemen, I do find that a little bit strange, considering how much gold he has access to. This is the last line of defense. 2 mangonels and a palisade wall between 2 castles. And there's only 1 ram here, so this castle's not going to go down too quickly. And should be able to do some decent damage versus his cavalry archers. Here comes the Tarkans, though. This is going to be the killing blow. Rabbit Tortoise still just hanging back for now. And this should be the end of Rodham. These are elite Tarkans now. These aren't your regular old Tarkans. Tensor is going down really fast. Here comes some more in the back, and that's going to be it for Rodham. We're going to be down to Rabbit Tortoise and Wiki. Thank you for playing Rodham. Alright, so we're down to the massive army of Wiki. And the not-so-massive army of Rabbit Tortoise. Might need a little bit of a miracle for Rabbit Tortoise to win this game. Tarkin's gonna go for a quick town center snipe. Looks like they're not gonna get there, though. Hussar's a nice touch to this army, also. So, in order to defeat Wiki, you're certainly not gonna go through the middle. Going through the left, you'd have to get through 3 gates. Unless you wanted to make onager. When you go through the right, you got a bunch of castles here, so Wiki's defenses are very, very strong. Alright, so is this going to be the big engagement for Rabbit Tortoise? This is going to take this one. You might as well, you're under a castle. 2 rams coming in. Look at the huge army from Wiki. Now the pikemen coming in also. Tarkin's going to sneak past all of the army. However, we do have walls. Rabbit Tortoise has made walls here. Going to try to go through that gate. The town center is walled in as well. So that's going to be a bit of a waste of Tarkin's. You know, on the front has held. But 2 trebuchets are up as well. So this castle won't stay up very much longer. At least Wiki's being a little bit wasteful with some of his units. These Tarkins can really absorb a lot of arrow fire. Yeah, Wiki's base looks great. I love the fortifications. Oh no! I thought the P-Tides were gonna get a trebuchet snipe. That would've been great. So it looks like this is gonna be the last stand for Rabbit Tortoise. Just way too much army from Wiki. He certainly played up to his skill level this game. Oh, I forgot, Camel Archers will have an attack bonus as the Cavalry Archers. That's a good reason to make them. Well, there's only Cavalry Archers here anymore. The Tarkins are still in the back. So it looks like these Cavalry Archers going down pretty quickly. However, we do have siege rams now. There's nothing really here to stop siege rams. But yet another somewhat successful defense. The problem is when these Tarkins and siege rams get added to the cavalry archers. Such a deadly combo. Well, it looks like we're going to have a little bit more of a prolonged game. We've had 2 defenses from Rabbit Tortoise. What does Rabbit Tortoise really need to combat this army? I think Hussar would be a very good meat shield for him. Hussar and Elite Camel Archer seems like a strong combo. But the Camel Archers certainly can't do it by themselves. They're really not able to handle those Tarkins. Or the Siege Rams. Rabbit Tortoise taking the score lead. It's 1780 to 1770. And Wiki relying a lot heavier on trash. Is that because he's out of gold? No, he's still got plenty of gold to mine. I hope players are still making villagers at this stage. It's something a lot of sudden death players don't tend to do. Wiki and Rodham only had 1 neighbor. Yeah, they were a little bit farther away from the rest. Here we go, Halberdier upgraded the full trash army from Wiki. And Wiki is now up on 215 population. Let's check Tortoise. Tortoise only up at 182, so that's a difference of about 40 population. Alright, looks like the game's going to continue. And these Tarkins going to take a lot of damage from the pikemen. But not enough. How many trebuchets are they going to be able to get? Looks like no trebuchets for them. So many halbs though. A siege ram's going to be able to tank so much. There's nothing here to counter the siege rams. Pikemen really don't do too much damage. It's a siege ram. Luckily the halbs are stuck on the pikemen and not on the cavalry. But it's just too much mass from Wiki. Even though this fight probably could have gone better with positioning, it's just way too much from Wiki. And that might be the fight of the game, right here in the middle map. The castle did go down for Wiki, but Rabbit Tortoise losing all of his army, and you can see Wiki reinforcing a lot quicker. And trebuchets will now go down for Rabbit Tortoise. So we have about 1 layer defense here. Heavy camel now done for Rabbit Tortoise. Very strong. It could be very strong against this combination, except for the halbs that you have to worry about. And still, Wiki just trying his best to hold. Trebuchet's going to come forward, but one's going to get sniped down. Second one's probably going to get sniped down also. Wiki not being careful enough with his trebuchets. So it looks like the final two are going to take more time than the initial what? Initial 5? We're talking about the things Wiki could do to speed things up. He can build forward military buildings in this area. And at this point, no massive army from Wiki. There's nowhere for him to regroup his army. He's going to have to regroup it over here on the bottom left. But he can't regroup it here. They're just going to die immediately. And I think we should be looking for the GG pretty soon from Rabbit Tortoise. Last line of defense for Rabbit Tortoise. It was a valiant effort. He's won quite a few of these battles, but going to be too much from Wiki, our Huns player. Once again, just showing why the Huns are so strong, even in sudden death. I don't really think the Berbers had much of a chance against the Huns, to be quite honest. And there we go. Rabbit Tortoise is just going to call it GG right there. We'll see if he lets his opponent take down the town center. No, it's going to be it. Right as the first Trebuchet bullet comes down. Trebuchet stone, I suppose. And there we go. Wiki's going to be the winner of this 7-way free-for-all. Wiki's saying he's glad there's so much gold on this map. I bet he is. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this community game, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next game.